finale of X-Men next Saturday morning. Check your local listings.
I'm grateful to have the chance to say goodbye. I am proud of you all, my X-Men.
What's up, guys? It's Lightning Bricks back with another video after I've missed a lot of time on YouTube because of school and sports and just life. I'm back with another showcase, and this one is X-Men 97. And back in the 90s, I didn't watch this show growing up because I wasn't around back then, but I've noticed all the hype around it, so I did watch the entire show and thought it was really good. So, without a further ado, I have made over 40 custom minifigures on X-Men 97 to show you guys today. So let's take a look at them. So the first figure we have of the X-Men 97 showcase is Cyclops here, and for Cyclops it's a really easy figure to build because if you already have the one from 2012 or the 2024 version they made for the X-Jet set, you already have him. But since I don't have that figure, I use this custom one I got from a store that sold custom minifigures in New Jersey. And yeah, they had like really cheap figures there. I know it's not official Lego, but that's what I had to use here. And then I just put some of the dog trainer hair on there. And that is basically it for Cyclops. Again, if you have that figure, use it, but if you don't, either make a custom one or try and find like an off-brand version like I did here. My next figure here we have is Jean Grey, and this is a kind of mid-custom because I didn't know really good design for her, but I'll show you what I did. I used the 2012 Wolverine legs, and then a flipped around torso from Superman. You can see the Superman logo there. And that torso is pretty common, so you should have that. And then darker yellow arms, tan hands, the face from Pepper Potts Rescue Armor. And then this hair from Lego City should round out your Jean Grey figure. Next figure we have up here is Wolverine, and this is the outfit he wears throughout the show. I know there's another one, but I didn't make that one, I just made this one. But to build him, I just used the Wolverine from the CMF minifigure series, and then took the shoulder piece from Taser from the Avengers Tower set, the one from 2020 that is, and it just adds a little bit more bulk onto him there, and I think it looks good. And yeah, that head on there is also just from the 2023 Wolverine, and I think it looks good. And you can't get much better than the actual figure, so that is Wolverine. Next up we have Beast. And for Beast, I just used his minifigure from the 2023 collectible minifigure series of Marvel Series 2. And you can't get much better than that because that is the only Beast minifigure they've made, and it's completely accurate. Next figure we have is Storm, and you can use the 2012 one, but again, I don't have very many 2012 sets, and so I had to make my own. And how to do that is you use the legs from Cole from Ninjago to get the legs with the nice printing there, nice gold printing, and then the torso from Black Panther, dark reddish brown arms and hands, and then the head from Storm from the collectible minifigure series. Some nice white hair, and then just a regular black papery cape. And yeah, that is Storm. And the 2012 one would work way better, but I think this is not that bad for a custom one, so that's what I went with. Next up, we have Rogue, and again, I don't have that X-Jet set, so I couldn't get the official Rogue, but I think this one looks okay. I used some dark green legs, yellow hip piece, yellow hands to get her gloves, the torso from Joyce Byers to get her green jacket, head from Black Widow, and then reddish brown hair to round it out. And I think it looks pretty decent for a custom. Next up we have here is Gambit, and this one turned out pretty good. Lego hasn't made an actual Gambit, so this is what we have to work with. I used the torso, arms, and legs from one of the Weasley brothers that came in the Harry Potter minifigure series. I think it's series 2. And I used some black hands with that. The head from Captain America to get like a tan face with printing, like his ski mask, I guess you could call it. And then some reddish brown hair to finish the look. And yeah, that is Gambit. Next up we have Jubilee, and for her, this one was kind of tough to make, but I used the legs from Finn from Adventure Time with the black boots and blue pants, the torso arms from Wong from the Spider-Man No Way Home Wong, tan hands, the head from Captain Marvel from one of the 2020 sets, either the Shield Helicarrier or the 4+ Avengers Tower will get you her, and then some black spiky hair. And I couldn't find a face that worked for her goggles, so if you could comment a good face in the comments, that would be good for future customs. Next up we have Magneto, and since I don't have that X-Jet set, I had to make my own Magneto. So I used the head from Vulture from one of the animated Spider-Man sets. I think it's the Truck Robbery, with some tan arms, some black hands, the torso from Beast Boy, some purple legs, and then a purple cape, and then the hair from Dumbledore to get that long gray hair. And yeah, that is Magneto. Not a very good custom, but I'll take it. Next up we got Sunspot, and this was a really interesting custom to make, but for him I used these black legs. I have no clue who they're from. I just like them because they have a lot of printing, which is good for his black suit. Yellow arms, black hands, the torso from one of the Outriders to get that gold detailing, to give it that gold and black aspect he has. The head from Ned Leeds from the Spider-Man No Way Home set. And then the hair from the original Ned Leeds from the Spider-Man Battle Pack. And that is Sunspot. I think this is one of my most accurate customs of the video. So yeah, I think he turned out good. Next character we have up here is Morph, and he's one of the weirder X-Men characters, but to build him I used the legs from Wolverine, the torso and arms from 2017 Star Wars, also comes in the Infinity War sets, some white hands, and the face from the newer versions of Voldemort. And yeah, kind of a weird character, but he looks pretty good in Lego form. Next character we have here is Xavier, and it was cool to see him come back in the season. I was not expecting that. Spoilers if you haven't seen it, by the way. You should have probably already known that by now, though. But to build him, I know he has the green shirt and the green pants, like the whole green suit. But I don't have a green suit, and the only person with a green suit is from the Muppets. So I went with a more classic black suit, so I used the torso from the old Jonah Jameson customs. I mean, not customs, actual figures, but you know what I mean. Black pants, black arms, tan hands, Lex Luthor head, and just the chair from the Avatar Jake Sully figure. And I think it's a good look. I wish I had the green torso, but I don't, so I had to go with this look. Next character we have is Bishop, and he's one of my favorite characters from the show. And to build him, I used the torso from the 2013 Nick Fury from the animated Spider-Man sets. Reddish brown arms, black hands for gloves. The legs from the girl from the original Mandalorian set. The head from the Ant-Man figure from CMF Series 2. You see the back face there. It's like one of the What If Ant-Man figures. And yeah, I used his hair as well. And then a backwards red scarf to get that little scarf over his neck. And yeah, pretty decent custom. Hope they make an official figure soon though. But this is all we can do for right now. The next section of the video will focus on the X-Men in their like casual attire, which is Beast, Scott Summers, Jean Grey, Logan, Sunspot, and Morph, all in their casual attire. So for Beast, I use the Doc Brown torso, white arms, blue hands, legs, head, and hair from Beast. For Scott Summers, black legs, torso from a Lego City character, tan hands, head from Nova from the Daily Bugle set, reddish brown hair. So for Jean Grey, gray pants, flipped around torso from the Central Perk guy, I forget his name at the moment, whitish green arms, tan hands, the head from Captain Marvel from the 2020 sets, not reddish brown, like just red hair. And then for Sunspot, I use the legs from Electro from the No Way Home set, the torso, arms from the Indiana Jones guy, forget his name, and then the hands and head from the original Ned Leeds figure from Spider-Man Far From Home, and then the hair from the 2018 Bruce Banner. And then for Morph here, we have Wolverine's legs, torso, arms, and hands from Star-Lord from 2017 or 2018. And then this is my favorite part. The head is from Felonish Gru from the Minions Rise of Gru bike chase set. I just love that face for him. I think it looks really good. And then some dark brown short hair. Just Cyclops' hair, but dark brown. And then for Logan, dark blue legs, torso, arms, and hands from Indiana Jones. Head and hair from Wolverine from the 2023 CMF. And that is all the X-Men casual. Next, we are starting to get into our villain characters. And here we have Bastien. I used the legs from Hawkeye from Civil War. Torso from flipped around, powered up Black Panther with the purple there. You can see that. And then black arms, tan hands. Head from Severus Snape with that kind of confused look. And then dark gray. I don't know what you'd call this hair, like kind of swooped back. And I think that looks decent for Bastion. Next up we have Cable. And for Cable, I use the legs from Superman with the red, like, kind of design there with the blue legs. Yellow hands for gloves. The torso from Jay from, I think, season 2 of Ninjago. One blue arm. And then the arm from the 2017 Captain America Civil War Winter Soldier. The Praetorian Guard neck bracket in gray. The head from a Star Wars clone trooper. And then the hair from, not Doc Brown, Doctor Who. That's it. And that's Cable. Kind of a mid-custom, but I tried my best on him. He was kind of a tough one. Next up, we have Nightcrawler, and this is one of my best customs for this showcase. Let me try and get him into the light a little bit more. So for him, I use the legs from the Ant-Man. I don't even know if it's Ant-Man, but it's from the 2023 collectible minifigure series from Lego Marvel Series 2. And with the white on the bottom, black on top. White hands, black arms. Torso from the Shang-Chi villain. You can see their little emblem on the back. And then the head from Blue Beetle. Black spiky top hair. And yeah, that is Nightcrawler. Next we have Mr. Sinister. In this, I know he's like one of the best characters in the show, but this was a really tough figure to build. And so for the legs, I used just some blue legs, a red hip piece, torso flipped around from Doctor Strange, a cape from Doctor Strange, blue arms, black hands for gloves, black swooped back hair from Bruce Wayne from the 2012 Batcave set. And then the face, I know this may look cursed, but it's a knockoff Joker face. This is the best I could find. I do want to give you guys a suggestion. If you do have the Morbius face, definitely use that instead. Looks 100% better. But yeah, this figure's kind of cursed, so that's what we have to deal with. Next up, we have Forge, and to build him, he was kind of a tricky one. I used a blue leg here, yellow hip piece, a leg from the Echo from the collectible minifigure series, so you get that robot leg that he has, some blue arms, yellow hands, the head from, not Shang-Chi, I was about to say that, but from Wong from Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, this hair from Whiplash from the Iron Man 2 Hall of Armor set, and then just a brown satchel for his, satchel he's got in the show, and yeah, I think he turned out pretty good. Next we have Dr. Cooper, who I didn't really know she was a villain, but to build her anyway, I used some black legs that kind of are really darkened right now on the screen. Trying to get you better lighting there, but use the torso, arms, and hands from the Joker from the Batcave from the 1998 series to get her like purple shirt she's got, the head from Harry Potter, and if you use the eraser method you can get the scar off, which is what I did here. Yellow blonde hair, which I think looks good for her hair, and then I used the phone from the She-Hulk figure, which I know she's not talking to Wong here, but that's what it says she's doing. But you can use any phone if you don't have that one. That's just what I use because that's what I had. But yeah, that is Dr. Cooper. Next up, we have Bolivar Trask. And to build him, he's kind of one of the easiest characters in the showcase. I used just some black legs, torso, arms, and hands from Ross from the Central Perk Friend set. Head from Han Solo. If you look on the back, you got that nice smirk there, since you know he's evil. And then the hair from Doctor Strange, which gets you the gray in the hair that he has. And yeah, simple custom. And I know he's not someone you'll like really want in your Lego collection, but we had to make him because he is in the show. So on to the next. Next up, we have the Executioner. And this character I think looks pretty sick after you build him. You will need to do a couple modifications to your pieces though, but we'll get on with the custom. I got some black legs there. Could have put some printing on them, but didn't choose to. I used the arms from the Mandalorian, the newer one, so you get the printing on there. Black hands. See the other arm on this side. The torso flipped around from, I was gonna say, Jane Foster Thor here. And so you just get that nice black printing with the silver on top and a brown belt. And then the head, not the head, the mask that goes over the head I took from Cole from Ninjago. And then if you look under here, I used the head from Powered Up Black Panther that ironically we used for Storm earlier. That's quite a coincidence. But then if you put the mask back over there, it covers up the cape a little, so you don't see that on the front. And then for the cape, if you have like a lot of the Superman figures, I don't think you'd mind ripping up one of the capes. And that's what I did to get like the cape to be only over this shoulder, which is what he has in the show. And I think this is a really good looking custom. Let me know what you guys think. Next we have the Goblin Queen, who, was just a side villain. Not like Mr. Sinister type villain. But for her, I use the legs from the Spider-Man Night Monkey suit to get that dark gray printing on there. I use the torso, arms, hands, and head from Bellatrix from Harry Potter. The Weasley Burrow set. And then the cape, which is like a tattered up cape that's from Batman. Like one of the original ones. And then the hair from Poison Ivy gets her just that red hair she's got in the show. And then for her little accessory here for the baby, I just used the Harry Potter baby piece, which came in Harry Potter minifigure series 2. And I think that's a really good figure. Not very meaningful role in the show, but you had to have her since she was a part of the cast. Next up, we have Sebastian Shaw, and he's like kind of the president in the show, I guess. And for him, I used the legs from Severus Snape from Harry Potter, the torso, arms, and hands from one of the Spider-Man bank robbers, the head from Wolverine, and then the hair from Whiplash that we used earlier on, what's that guy's name? Forge. And yeah, he turned out pretty good. The Wolverine head definitely worked really good there. And yeah, that is Sebastian Shaw. Next up we have Emma Frost. And while you didn't see really much of her in the show, we still had to build her. And I think this one turned out really great. So here's what I did. I used the head from Captain Marvel from the 2020 sets. You know, I got a lot of those we've seen. The hair from Rachel. White arms, tan hands. The legs from Joker from the DC CMF series. And then the torso, this is not like a real official Lego torso. I just used that from a custom. But you could use any white torso. I just used it because it's an X-Men torso. But if you pop the head off, this is what I did with the cape. I put a white cape on there from Shazam. And then I attached the cape that came on, like the cape that goes through the arms and the back of the torso, which is from Storm, which you can see here. She has that same cape. And since I had two of them, I just used that for Emma Frost to give her just that extra white on her. And it just looks really good. Next we have the Silver Samurai. And I guess this custom was okay. For him, I wanted to go with a dark gray look, so I used some dark gray arms, like gunmetal gray arms, dark gray hands. The legs, if you can see, they have kind of Iron Man printing. Those are from the Iron Man Armory set. I think the Hammerjack armor. And then if you take off this head that I just shot across the room, you can see the torso I used is from the Hammer Iron Man. And then if you put the torso plate back, and then the pieces that I flung across the room when I took his head off, the head is from Vulture. You can see that on the back there. And yeah, I think that looks decent there. I used, since I don't have a samurai headpiece, I used the headpiece from, let me back the figure up a little bit. Use the headpiece from the War Machine from the Iron Man Armory set. And then this Batman chest plate here from the Batman v Superman sets from 2017. Just to give him that extra armor there for his samurai costume. Next we have Omega Red. And say what you want to say about this custom. It doesn't look very good at all. But I tried my best with this, and that's all you really can do. I used the legs from Ironheart to give him some silver printing on the red. White hips, red torso from the Praetorian Guards. White arms, red hands, head from Voldemort, and then some Lego City yellow long hair. And yeah, this one's pretty terrible, but I had to make him since he was in the show. So, about Omega Red. The next segment of the video will focus on the Avengers portion of the characters, which is Captain America, Spider-Man, Iron Man, and Hulk. And for Hulk, I'm just going to get this one out of the way and say I use the 2020 miniature Avengers Tower, the 4+1, for the kind of comic book Hulk we see. Iron Man, use the torso from the 2020 video game suit. Gold arms, red hands, Praetorian Guard armor piece there. Under the helmet, you'll see is just a regular Iron Man face that's been in so many sets. It's kind of getting out of hand. And then the helmet piece from the newer Iron Man sets. And then just the legs from the Endgame Iron Man. Moving on to Spider-Man, I used the legs from one of the old comic book Spider-Mans that came with the dual printing legs. Torso from the 2021 Spider-Man like animated sets. The arms on both sides are from that same exact torso piece I just talked about. And then the just red hands. And then the head is from the No Way Home Final Battle. The Amazing Spider-Man, or as I call it, the Andrew Garfield one. And that's Spider-Man, Iron Man, Hulk, and we'll move on to Captain America. And for him, I use the legs from the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, torso, arms, and hands from the Shield, not the Shield helicarrier, the Avengers Quinjet, Captain America, the helmet piece, and then the head is from the Avengers Endgame HQ set, which gave you the chin strap there. And I didn't like how these characters were portrayed in the show. I wish they could have done them a little bit better, but I think the customs look good. I'd rather use the 2013 Captain America and the Invincible Iron Man to get you a more comic book look, but this is what I had to offer for you guys, so that is the Avengers segment of the video. Next, we have Daredevil, and before I go through this, please just use the Daily Bugle Daredevil. It's way much better, but I don't have $300 for that set right now, so kind of had to go with the off-brand version again. I use black legs, torso, arms, hands, and head from the off-brand Daredevil, again from that shop in New Jersey. What a great shop that was, or we wouldn't even have a Daredevil. And then just some horn pieces from Black Panther, but then again, please just use the Daily Bugle one. Next we have Leech, and Leech kind of reminds me of the Gecko guy from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles shows, like the old 80s one. And to build Leech, I use some dark green hands, the head from Beast Boy, the red beanie from Lego City, I think the Advent Calendar, torso, arms from Bruce Wayne from the Batman set, that Batcave set that came with the Riddler and Commissioner Gordon and stuff. And then these mid legs, which are black since he's kind of like smaller. And then the backpack piece from the collectible minifigure series Camper. And that is Leech. Next up we have Magic, if that's how you pronounce it. So for her, I use the torso, legs from the Iron Man Bones armor, black arms, yellow hands, the head from Captain Marvel from, 2019, and then this Friends hair, which came on like a lot of Friends sets. And yeah, that is Magic. Kinda another, meh custom, but had to include it again. And guys, we have made it to our final custom minifigure of the showcase, which is Henry Gyrich, which we see at the end of the season. And for him, I use the legs from Emmett from the Lego movie, the Lego movie. The Lego movie 1, the number 2 has all kinds of other printing on it, so I just used the one from number 1. And then the torso arms from the Joker from the 2021 Arkham Asylum set. Tan hands, and then head from Harry Potter, and then some reddish brown hair. And then that is it, guys, for the X-Men 97 showcase. And I'll end this video in the outro coming up next. And that was my showcase on X-Men 97. I want to know what you guys thought of this showcase. What other showcases do you want to see in the future? And I'll have new videos almost daily, so like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.